All right, all right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first, the inaugural live stream for Cops Court and Community. I'm your gracious host, Darnell Leeson. So I want to thank you for joining me. We're going to wait just a little bit for some people to check in. Um, as you check into the chat, please make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Running the YouTube live, and I got the Instagram live going on. So we're going to be getting this show on the road very, 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 very shortly. Very shortly. Um, as you check in, like I said, make sure you hit that like button. Put in the chat, where you're from, so we all know where you're checking in from. So let's see who we got here. All right, so we're good on the live on Instagram. We're going live very well here on YouTube. Is the audio good? Somebody let me know if the audio is good. The video is good. Let me know. Let me know. Set free and delivered here from Long Island, New York. Appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much. How's the audio set free? Good. Chill, man. Still chill. Yes, the audio is good. Audio is good. Video is good. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. We got so far 4 people in the room. Thanks for joining me, guys. If you're just checking in, make sure you hit the like button. Put in the chat where you're from so we all know where you're from. Appreciate you being here. Definitely appreciate it. Those of you who are on Instagram, if you want to hop on over to the YouTube channel and join in the chat, definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you jumping in over there. HF40, heck, what's going on, brother? How are you? Jump on over to the YouTube channel and join the chat over there. It's Weidman. Hello from Brooklyn. How are you? How are you? Thanks for joining me. Appreciate you. Jackie runs group on Facebook, Uber and Lyft group. Good informative information in that group. If you're actually Uber driver on Long Island or outside of the 5 boroughs, jump on over to her page. She's the admin. If you want to put in the comment section below or the chat, Jackie, so these guys can find your group, they definitely would appreciate that. Mike Fina, hello from Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. What's going on there, Mike? Appreciate you joining. Reached out to Mike a little while ago. He put out a video. He's got his own YouTube channel now, the Union Labor Advisory Network. Jump on over to his YouTube channel. Check him out. Support your local YouTubers. Appreciate you guys. Again, those of you who are joining on Instagram, please jump on over to the YouTube channel and join us in the chat there. There you go. The Long Island Uber and Lyft Network. Excellent. Conversations with D&D in the house. Appreciate you. So pretty much I wanted to jump on. I'm sure people are going to jump on a little bit later on. They'll just have to watch the replay. I just wanted to jump on a little bit and talk about this new law in New York State, the suspension law, which is the Driver's License Suspension Reform Act. Now, pretty much what this new law is, it's going to really eliminate all of the suspensions in New York State. So if you're suspended for failure to pay fine, New York State is now going to relieve you of that suspension and reinstate your license. So how many does that affect? Well, back, 2016 to 2018, New York State actually suspended 1.7 million driver's licenses of its residents. So that's a lot. Now, why does that matter? Because a lot of people are still driving while they're suspended. And all it's going to do is really affect you a little bit later on. Because if you get caught driving while you're suspended, there's a very good chance either one, you're going to get a criminal court summons, which is just going to now drag you into criminal court. and you're going to have to pay criminal fines. You're going to have that on your record. So you definitely don't want that. But I understand people got to get to work. They got to pick up their kids, drop them. Well, not now, nobody. Well, there are people still going to school, but people got to get to work. They got to get groceries. They got to do their laundry. They got errands to run, and they're taking a big chance by going out there and driving while they're suspended. So Mike Fina, there it is, the Union Labor Advisory Network. You ain't got to thank me for the support, brother. That's what I do. We've had many conversations, so I appreciate that. So Mike is actually, I don't want to get into your personal stuff there, Mike, but Mike is a good friend of the unions and labor in general. I'm sure if you jump over to his channel, he'll lay out all of that stuff, but he's got some good stuff for those in labor and the working class people, right? Rolling on three wheels. What's going on? My brother Keith, that guy's been rolling with me, and no pun intended, rolling on three. That guy's been with me from day one when I first started this channel back in 2015. No pun intended again, ride or die. So I appreciate him so much. Jump over to his channel. He started his channel not too long ago, Rolling on Three Wheels. It's all about exactly what it says, rolling on three wheels. If you got a Riker or any type of three-wheel bike, that's the channel to check it out. He made a very big announcement with respect to one of these major players in the game. So go over to his channel, check him out. Very good guy. Appreciate him so much. So again, going back to this Driver's License Suspension Reform Act, it's going to relieve 1.7 million suspensions. So I was doing some digging around. I tried to go through the bill itself, and it's like 350 something pages. There's no way for me to really, pick out the most important parts of that bill to let you guys know exactly what's going on. But I did find some information, and let me state that this bill was sponsored by Senator Kennedy and Assemblywoman Hunter in the State Assembly and the Senate. So the reason why, and I'm just going to read this for you, the justification as to why they did this bill, and this is contained in the bill itself. It states that New York State regularly suspends people's driving privileges because they are not able to pay a traffic-related fine or fee. That's the biggest thing. And, the minimum fine, and I always say this, depending on the jurisdiction that you're in, that minimum fine can equal $138. So they further state why that's important. So as I stated, and this is in the bill itself, between January 2016 and April 2018, New York State issued 1,686,175 driver's license suspensions related to traffic debt. Further states, license suspensions have significant adverse consequences, which I stated, for the individual, especially in areas where public transportation options are sparse. Further states, without a license, a person cannot drive to work, school, or even court. These consequences compound and amplify the impact of the suspension, making it less likely that the person can repay the initial debt and more likely that the person will incur additional censure and penalties from the court. If the person continues to drive with a suspended license, as many people are compelled to do, he or she risks criminal charges now, additional fines, and possible prison time. In practice, suspension for non-payment criminalizes New Yorkers for being poor. So what does that mean? It really affects a lot of the poorer neighborhoods and communities in New York State. Those who are working, paycheck to paycheck, they could do something stupid. They're on their cell phone. They run a stop sign. They're speeding, whatever the case may be. These people are the ones who are paying the brunt of this problem. So they're getting these summonses, they're getting suspended, and they really can't afford to pay these summonses. So what's happening? I either pay the summons, or I put food on the table for my family. And I think this new bill or the new law is going to really alleviate that. So 1.7 million of New Yorkers are affected by this, and it's probably more because, again, the numbers are just between 16 and 18. But you guys are eventually going to be notified from New York State within the next 30 days, according to what the bill stated. You're going to get a first-class letter from the Commissioner of Department of Motor Vehicles letting you know that, and I'm just paraphrasing, that suspension is going to be forgiven. Also in the bill, as I was digging around in the bill, it states that the fee to reinstate your license, which most people don't know, you get your license suspended, right? You go take care of it in court, you pay the fine, you walk out, you say, all right, I'm good, I can drive. No, that's not the case. If you don't pay that fee to reinstate your license, you're still suspended, which makes no sense. So New York State is going to eliminate that additional penalty as well. So let me jump in here real quick and see if anybody else joined. Set free and delivered. Wow, nice $50. Wow, appreciate that. That's if you guys don't know, if you see Set Free and Delivered made a nice little donation, a $50 donation. That's just really going to help keep the lights on. That's part of the super chat. So if you see on the bottom of your screen that little $sign and then the smiley face, you have the option of sending a donation to help fund what I do here. Not necessary, but it's definitely appreciated. So let me get back into this a little bit. So again, the bill essentially is going to end the license suspensions in New York for the unpaid fines. Now, does anybody know, if you can answer, why do you think that New York State passed this particular law? Any guesses? Yeah, chill, man. $138. That's just the minimum fine. If you've done nothing wrong, this is your first summons. It could be a little bit lower, but that's the minimum. The judges have the discretion to lower it, but most times, unless it's like a little equipment thing, a headlight out or something like that, then it's going to be a $138 fine. Set Free and Delivered says that's true. Good point. When one cannot afford it, especially during COVID, they should be giving more time. Yeah. Well, originally it used to be 14 days you had to pay a fine, but now they extended it. Now it's 30 days to pay your fine. So any guesses as to why? Jackie says people have to work. Yeah, they state that in the bill. That's why, they want to alleviate that issue. But any guesses as to why this law was passed? Any guesses? Take a guess. Rolling on three wheels. Will the arrest be overturned? It's quite possible. And again, the bill, I started reading it. It's 354 pages long, and they really spelling out every little detail. So I don't have an answer yet, but I promise you I'll definitely give you an answer to that real soon. We still got some people over there on the Instagram page. Jump on over to our YouTube live stream and join the conversation over there. Appreciate you guys being here, but I really want you over here. So jump on over there. I give you guys a couple more minutes. Any guesses as to why New York State passed this law? And again, yeah, people have to work. 1.7 million at minimum. They're suspended, and I guarantee you, maybe 1 million of them are still driving. So any guesses? Any guesses? Going once, going twice. Well, here's the reason why. Money. At the end of the day, it's really money. Public pressure. Well, there was some public pressure from a drivers organization. They were definitely pressuring the lawmakers to get this done. But it's about money. At the end of the day, it's about money. Now, there was some data from similar programs in San Francisco, Arizona, and Palm Beach, Florida, which demonstrate that the bill will actually increase the revenue that the state's getting by eliminating the suspensions and letting people get their licenses back. So that's really just going to boost New York State's economy. So if you think about it, just round numbers, if every not even going to say a million people, yeah, let's say the million people that owe $138, if that's all there is, $138, a million people, you guys do the math. I'm not a rocket scientist when it comes to math, but that's a nice, significant amount of money that's going into the coffers of the state of New York. And that's just at minimum. Now, there are people out there that have multiple summonses. I've had, unfortunately, the opportunity to write 4 or 5 summonses to one driver. Was it overkill? No, it was one safety thing, was the initial stop safety, and then it just led to all of these other things. So, these multiple summonses, they add up. So one car stop could be, almost $1,000. Now think about if half of those million people, if 500,000 of those motorists were suspended and they owed in excess of $250. That money that's going into the coffers, that's growing. What we got? Anything else here? Chillman says, if my license is suspended in New York, can I drive elsewhere in other states? Your privileges to drive in New York State are suspended. So let's just say you cross over the border and go into New Jersey. You're just unlicensed at that point. Can't drive. So you need a license to drive in the contiguous, 50 states of the United States. You have to be licensed. Not having a license and being a sovereign citizen, that's a whole nother story. But you need a license to drive no matter where you are. So if you're suspended in New York, and let's say you go to New Jersey and you get pulled over and you present your New York State license, whether it's New York State troopers or some local municipality, they may run your license and see that you're suspended in New York. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But if they do and the suspension shows, they're just going to write you a summons for being unlicensed. And there's a probably good chance that they're going to take your car from you, impounded, and you're going to be stuck somewhere. So you really shouldn't be driving anyway. Big Mac Sam just joining. What's going on, man? Big Mac Sam was one of the first content creators that I did an interview. We actually interviewed one another as I moved to the community part of the channel. So I appreciate you, Big Mac Sam. You can jump over to his channel. Big Mac Sam is actually a driving school instructor. Rolling on 3, $2 donation. Appreciate it, man. Definitely helping me keep the lights on. Definitely helping it. I appreciate that. So Big Mac Sam, he's a actual driving instructor. He's got some great content on his channel, and we're actually going to be hooking up to do something. Gio, what's going on, George? Jump on over to the YouTube channel, man. Come join us over here, man. I appreciate you joining here, but like I said, I need you here. So Big Mac Sam and I, we're actually going to do another interview later on. It's early next week, right, Sam? Early this week, if I believe I'm correct. Rolling on 3, keep the good info coming. It's needed. Yeah, appreciate it. So we got 10 people in the room right now. I appreciate all of you being here. So as I said at the beginning, if this is your first time here, you're checking into the chat. One, most important, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And on your way into the chat, please make sure you hit the like button. That also helps, keep the channel growing. I just hit a phenomenal, thank God, I hit a phenomenal milestone. I hit 7,000 subscribers at the end of December. And I think I just checked today and we're about to hit 7,100. So I'm averaging about 100 new subscribers a month, which is great. I don't know where they're at because 10 of you, 11 of you are here. So I don't know where the rest of the 6,990 of you are, but I appreciate all 10 of you being here. But let me just give you a little bit of background. a little bit of background. Thanks, Sam. 7,100 by tomorrow, guarantee you. But let me give you a little bit of background. My name is Darnell Leeson. Been in law enforcement since April of 1996, where I started in Township here in New York State. I stayed there until about 2004 when I got hired with the agency where I'm at now. And I've been there ever since. Prior to coming to the agency where I'm at, the 8 years I spent in the other department, I was a very big summons writer. I think to date, I'm probably well over 20,000 summonses. And some of you are probably going to say, whoa, that's a lot. I give more warnings than I actually write. So am I an authority on summonses? Some would say. I've been to criminal court, and some of these district attorneys, they have put me on the stand relating to certain arrests, and they have said, this officer is an expert in his field based on the number of summonses that I've written and the number of arrests that I've made. I don't think I'm an expert with arrests, but summonses, I definitely write a lot. So I do have an extensive knowledge with these summonses. Let me go back in here. Awesome, says Jackie. Appreciate you. Thank you. Did I miss anything? Let me go back real quick. Hector Fig says, what's the incentive to actually pay in the law? I'm not quite understanding what your question is, Heck. Maybe you can articulate that one just a little bit better for me. But let me get back into this law a little bit. I did have a couple of points that I wanted to make. So although the law was passed, and here's something very important, although the law was passed, they said that it's going to take a little bit of time to roll this thing out completely. Now, I was digging into the law, and I'm reading it, and I just couldn't understand what the issue is. So I went and I checked into California's law, and California enacted this in 2017. And according to the Golden State, they claim that it would take an additional $20 million to implement the program. Now, $20 million was asked for from the Department of Motor Vehicles. They claimed that they needed that $20 million to implement it because their budget was short. But at some point, they found the money. So I'm not 100% sure if New York State's Department of Motor Vehicles is saying the same thing, that they need more money in their budget to roll the program out. I'm not sure, but it's already started, and it would be sometime in June when everybody is allegedly supposed to be notified of their suspensions being, lifted. So I'm still going to be doing some digging. I did actually put a call in to my local senator to see if she was able to get some information. But anytime I email her about something, all I get is boilerplate responses. So I don't even think it's her responding. I think it's somebody in her staff that's just sending, boilerplate responses to the emails. So Heck says, what to get people to pay the fine? What is the consequences for not paying except a bigger bill with each new ticket? Well, let me touch on that. Big Mac Sam, see you later, brother. Appreciate you stopping in. Sunday, yes. Reach out to me so we can firm up all of the details. All right, so Heck pretty much saying, what are we going to do to get people to pay the fine? Well, what it is assuming you owe, let's just say $138, and that's it, and you can't afford to pay that. The law is requiring you to pay $25 or 2%, whichever's higher. So $25 if you're in that, I don't want to use the word poor. If you're in that poverty level, they'll accept, the minimum amount. So if you're one who's making over $100,000, you should be paying your fines. But I don't know what everybody's circumstances are, but it's 2% 25, whichever one is higher. So that's the incentive. They're making it, the amount that you have to repay so small that I guess you're saying, you know what, I can afford to get it done. I don't know if that answers your question or not, Heck. Set free. Wait, I missed it. So how does one get pardoned from a suspension to get their license back? They have to pay all the tickets. Yes, you're getting pardoned. That's pretty much what it is. They're pardoning you for your suspensions, for your failure to pay the fine. Now, if you're suspended because you were drinking and driving and you refuse to take that breathalyzer, you're still going to be suspended. This is just based on you failing to pay any back fines. So they're just going to, at the stroke of the pen, they're going to say, hey, set free and delivered. Your license is no longer suspended. That, suspension fee to get your license back, that's gone too. We're starting fresh. You can drive again, but now we need our money. So what's going to happen if you don't pay that? Ultimately, you're going to start accruing some more fines on top of that, but you're still going to drive. So again, I need to dig a little bit more into the law. 354 pages. It's a lot when you start getting into the legalese words, and it just makes your eyes a little bit blurry. All right, Sam, appreciate you stopping in. So pretty much that's it. Other than it taking 180 days to implement this thing, which I think it's a little excessive, 180 days, considering that this bill was presented to Governor Cuomo months and months ago. He waited until the last minute, to sign this thing right before the new year took effect, which doesn't make any sense. Hector Fig says, so point suspension is still happening. Not quite sure what you mean by that. Any points associated with a suspension, or are you saying, are you going to get suspended if you reach that threshold? If that's your question, yes. So if you have, 3 points suspension 3 points on your license for having an unrestrained child in your car, and you get ticketed for that, those points are there. If that's what you're asking. What happens rolling on 3 wheels? What happens if you can't pay due to personal issues? Again, I don't have that answer. They're lifting these suspensions, and they're going to expect you start paying something back. And I think ultimately, if I read, and I just got to that part right before I went on, I got to the part where they were starting to mention the fact that if you don't, and again, I'm not trying to give you bad information, but from what I kind of skimmed ahead, it looks like they're going to end up suspending you again, if I read it correctly, but I'll get that answer for you. Parking tickets are just like taxes. Parking tickets are just like taxes. Got to pay up. Yeah, you got to pay these suspensions. You got to pay. 20 and out. What's going on? Stugatz. It's over there on the IG. I don't see you over here, Stugatz. Get over here. We need you over here, man. Come on over. Hit that like button. Join the conversation. Let's see. Do I have any other notes? That's pretty much it. Anybody that's affected, if you have any family members who have, unfortunately they're suspended and they can't drive, expect to have their license restored sometime June 2021. So they got, another 5.5, 6 months. Let's see, did I miss anything? Did I miss anybody? All right, guys, you can start throwing some questions at me. I know if you got questions, I know a few of you already have answers to the questions that you're probably gonna ask. Rolling on 3 with all my 511 arrests. Yeah, I think so. 511 is pretty much the actual law. If you look up the New York State VTL section 511, that's where it starts talking about license suspensions. So within the law enforcement community, if somebody's going to be arrested or issued a criminal court summons, normally we say, oh, that person's 511. So a 511, and we have that little 511 shuffle, but that's a whole nother story. So yeah, all your 511 arrests should still count. They should still count. What other questions we got, man? Been down here for 31 minutes already, and I think I pretty much went through all of my notes with respect to this Driver's License Suspension Reform Act. Probably really doesn't affect too many people in this room tonight, but you may know somebody who is suspended, and this is definitely going to help them out. I was speaking to a traffic court attorney yesterday, and he seems to believe, from what he's read in his, legal circle, is that someone is going to have to make an application to the court to get their license back. So we went back and forth just a little bit. And I tend to disagree. Based on what I'm reading here, it looks like New York State is just sending out these letters, telling people, hey, you can start driving again. So not 100% sure if he was actually correct. I did Be a Law Group. If I got his YouTube channel, another traffic court attorney. He seems to think the same thing, that a person is going to have to, make application to the court to get their license reinstated. But I didn't go back and forth with him. But I tend to think you're just going to get that letter in the mail and your privileges to drive are going to be reinstated. Yes, appreciate you. Yes, Michael Beer. He's got his own YouTube channel. Just search him out on YouTube. I think it's Traffic. I can't even remember, but look up Be a Law Group, on YouTube. You should find him there. Chillman says, I know a guy who's suspended. He drives from Virginia to New York often. He got a few DWIs. Well, Chillman, tell him he needs to chill with that, because especially in Virginia, they don't play that at all. So he needs to, wait for that letter before he starts, going from state to state, especially in Virginia. They definitely don't play that. So start throwing those questions at me, guys. I'm working on getting some. I know Rolling on 3 mentioned I need to get some merchandise. So I got the official Cops Court and Community hand sanitizer. Nice little belt loop, or you hook it up on your keychain, especially with this coronavirus going on right now. Wash those hands if you can. If not, use the sanitizer. So I'm probably going to be giving a few of these away, not on this stream. I got to do a little bit of research on these giveaways. I'm sorry. Jackie said I did post a question. See, if you use that super chat, it would have been highlighted. I wouldn't have missed it. Let's see. How far back am I going? If not, just ask the question again. Just ask the question again. I'm sorry, Jackie. My apologies. So much going on. Again, all of you on the Instagram live feed, appreciate you being here. Jump on over to the YouTube channel, Cops Court and Community. Join the conversation there. Super chat, yes, right here on the bottom of the screen. You see that little $sign? You can donate whatever you want. $1 up to whatever you want. Up top, set free and delivered. I appreciate it. Through $50 my way. Pretty much, I'm just going to use that stuff to get more equipment, lights, cameras, mics, Everything I do is out of the goodness of my heart because I want to bring the information to you guys the best way possible. But anybody that runs a YouTube channel knows that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Every little bit helps. The revenue that gets generated from the views, you're not getting nothing with that. Not me. Unless I had 1 million followers and I got conversion rates, but that's a whole nother story, man. Then you're talking big money. But right now, it's nothing. But I still love doing what I do. I still love doing what I do. So I enjoy it a lot. So your question is, with suspensions being eliminated, will DMV notify such entities like TLC, Uber, etc.? Very good question. I will definitely have to get that information for you. And once I do, I'll reach out to you and maybe we'll do, a live for your group members there. But that's good. That's good information. But I know TLC and DMV, they're hooked up somehow. I'm not 100% sure. I guess because they're a government agency, they're tied into the system. So they'll know that if your license is reinstated, they're going to be notified that, your privileges to drive have been reinstated. So without knowing for 100%, I can probably say with about 50% certainty, Jackie, that those entities will be notified that your privileges have been reinstated. But I'm going to look into that a little bit later on this evening for you, and I'll definitely find out, which I'll reach out to this, my local senator, and I'll ask her the same thing. Beer traffic law. There he is. Did I talk you up, Mike? Did I talk you up? Listen, if you guys have any traffic related problems, reach out to Michael Beer Traffic Law, the traffic professor. That's it. That's his channel info. Appreciate it, Mike. Mike, let me ask you, since you're here, do you still believe that a person is going to have to make application to the court to get their license reinstated? I had a conversation with one of your colleagues. I'm not going to mention who. And we did have a back and forth about it. But what's your opinion on it? Be a traffic law says if they don't react directly, buy an abstract from DMV. So I guess you'll have to get an abstract to see. But if that person is one of these that won't get their license reinstated until late June, if they got an abstract next month, then it's still going to show that they're suspended. So he's saying the way he reads the law, he seems to think as well that you're going to have to make application to the court to get your license reinstated. But like I said, I reached out to my senator, left a message. Hopefully, I'll probably get that boilerplate email in response instead of a call back. So hopefully, they'll have an answer for you. What is this? So what will classify you as a person? Wait, so what will classify you as a person who shouldn't be on the road? Not quite sure what you're asking, brother. Maybe you can dumb that question down for me a little bit because I'm not quite understanding. Again, all of you who are watching on the IG, appreciate you being there, but it helps me keep the lights on if you're over here on that YouTube channel. So I appreciate you jumping in over there. Thank you so much. Beer traffic law says you have to prove the 2% or $10 status. So there you have it. Beer traffic law just threw a little bit more information out there that you're going to have to prove the 2% or $10 status. So I guess they're going to be looking for some type of pay stubs from you. I'm not 100% sure. And again, like I said, that bill, so many pages. I'm going to have to do a little bit more of a deep dive and get that information. But if be a traffic law is saying you're gonna have to prove it, I guess you're gonna have to prove it to the state that you're insolvent somehow and you can't afford to pay those fines back. What does that mean? What does what mean, Jackie? Nice. Oh, heck, and rolling on three wheels. They're going back and forth a little bit. Same ticket over and over again. Habitual violator. What is the consequences? There are none. If you checked out my interview with Mike Deere here, he says he gets repeat customers. His kids' college tuition, appreciates it. But man, he'll tell you, you get repeat customers. I shared a story, a couple of times. I arrested the same person twice a year apart. So they just don't care. They don't care. 2%. The 2% is that's what you're asking. 2%. Mike Fina, appreciate the Mike. Come on, man. I'm not even gonna get into Mike's story. But that wasn't necessary, Mike. It wasn't. But listen, I appreciate you, man. Helps keep the lights on. It definitely does help. So I appreciate it, man. No, thank you. Thank you so much. The 2%, that's what you're gonna have to pay. 2% of whatever that fine, that penalty is that you have. So you're gonna have to prove that you're insolvent, I guess. This is what you can afford to pay. And again, this is still very, very new. So all of the details, I'm sure, haven't been hammered out. The law is signed. It's ready to go. Again, it's going to take 180 days to implement. So I'm sure there's going to be some kinks and bumps along the road, unfortunately. Be a traffic law says the DMV can suspend or revoke for persistent violations. There you go. So I've had offline conversations with, a few people, and 20 and out. Appreciate you, man. Come on over here. I don't know if you're over here on the YouTube side. Any callers lately? Nah, I haven't done anything. And for those who don't know, collars is lingo within the law enforcement, community, which just means any arrests. So 20 and out is over here on the IG side. He's asking any collars lately. The answer is no. So I haven't done anything. Things have just been very quiet with this whole COVID situation. So definitely not. Frank. Oh man, Frank is in the house. What's going on, man? I appreciate you jumping in. Frank, I don't want to tell Frank's story. Frank's down where I need to be, down in sunny Florida. Made the move down. Those who know me, definitely know that that's my plan. At the end of the day, when I signed those retirement papers, that's my plan. That's where me and the family are going, down to sunny Florida. So Frank, can't wait to catch up with you and Terry and everyone down there. Appreciate you guys, man. Hopefully we'll get together sometime soon. So appreciate you jumping in and saying hello. 40-year fitness. Have you ever turned in a bad cop? Let me tell you something. Everybody that I work with are stand-up guys. We know we want to get to that finish line. We want to get our pensions, and that's what we're here for. We got no time for nonsense. Forget about what you see on TV. And I've said this a dozen times, if not more. What you see on TV, what you see in the movies, don't believe that. Not every cop is a bad cop, and not everybody's out there to hurt you and harm you. And again, as I said, at the top of this live, I've written far less summonses than the warnings that I've, stopped people for. And if I've stopped 100,000 people in my career from 94 until now, hold on, I gotta refresh this IG live. I'm sorry. So if I stopped 100,000, people, I'd say, I've written, 30% of those people. I'd rather give the warning. That's me. And a lot of the guys that I work with, they rather give the warning. But if you're just rude, nasty, or disrespectful, and you just don't want to hear what we're trying to tell you to make it a little bit better, make it safer for you, for me, for the people around you. If you just don't care, then you know what? There's a good chance that somebody's going to write you the summons. And even then, the guys that I work with, we don't take any of that personal. You can curse. I've been cursed out, been called all kinds of names under the sun. I never take it personal. And if in my head I say I'm going to give this person a warning, call me all kind of a-holes if you want. You're still getting that warning, man. It doesn't bother me any. But some people do get the summons, which is unfortunate. So turning into bad cop, I don't know any bad cops. The guys I work with, all great people, all great guys and gals. Let's see. Let me catch up a little bit. Chillman says a lot of people are out of work with the pandemic shutdown. Yeah, that's unfortunate. My wife and I, we went out and ran a few errands earlier, and I drove through my old neighborhood, and it was just like businesses and stores were just closed and shuttered, boarded up. And one place had that condemned sign on it. I was just shocked, man. Used to be a thriving neighborhood. Now it just looks very, very bad. I feel so sorry for these people. Let's see. Chill, man. Pay 2% of what you owe is not bad, but if on unemployment from COVID, they should pardon the total amount depending on how it is. That's very good, Chill, man. That's a very good point. So maybe you should write a letter to your local senator or assembly person and make that suggestion, because I'm sure, since what they're saying, and again, it's in the context of the bill itself, that the poorer communities are the ones that were targeted for these suspensions for failure to pay. So if a lot of these poorer individuals in the state of New York, if they're out of work and they're on some type of government assistance, I think that's something that the state really should consider. That's very good. I appreciate that. Thank you. Frank, counting the day? You have no idea. You have no idea. Counting the days. True fact. Rolling on three wheels. No one wants to be a cop until they need one. Jackie, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're helping keep the lights on. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. It helps. You have no idea. You have no idea. Thank you so much. Let's see. What do I got here? Conversations with D&D. Facts on facts at Rolling on 3. Yes. So listen, those some more questions. I got nothing on the IG over here. Again, if you're on the IG live, I appreciate you being over there. Jump on over here and join the conversation. On your way into the chat, hit the like button. Don't hit the like button at the end, because you're gonna forget. You're gonna go find something else to do, and that like isn't gonna be there. So hit that like button. I appreciate it. 13 likes so far. That's wonderful. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Did I miss anybody's question? Let me go. Let me see. I don't want to miss anything. So I had a conversation with somebody offline a couple of days ago, in anticipation of doing this live. Again, this is my first one, and it's going to be the first of many. So if there's something that you guys, want to discuss, I have some ideas, probably, the next 3 or 4 weeks I have, in my planner of things that I want to do. I wish I can be consistent and say it'll be every Wednesday. But I have to, work around, my wife's schedule with her job and, my little guy. If those of you who don't know, I got a 4-month-old now. He's a handful, so I can't do a live. I mean, I could do the live with the baby on my lap, but he'd be trying to grab at the screen and start fussing. So I definitely don't want that to happen. But I have some ideas. that I want to bring to the table and bring that information to you guys. And it's not just going to be about the law. It's going to be about some current event stuff. We'll start from there, but I have some things planned out. So if anybody's watching the replay of this live, if there's something that you guys want to see, you want to discuss, put that in the comment section below, and I'll definitely put that in the rotation and get that out there for you guys. Let me see. Shadow Black Riker wants to join in. Let me it's on IG Live. Hold on a second. Goonsy, what are you doing over here? Goonsy is on the IG. Goonsy should be over here. So I just hold on. Yeah, so I got Shadow Block Riker on the IG. Just join him in. So what's going on, brother?
What's up, bro? Man, I'm just here to support the channel and give my input, man.
I appreciate you. Thank you for joining, man. What do you got, man?
It's your first live, right?
Yeah, my first live, brother. My first live. It's not bad. It's not bad. Had the little, heart palpitations earlier, but I've been doing this long enough, man. I'm very comfortable in front of the camera. I don't even know what I was nervous about, but it's all good, man.
It's a natural, man.
Yes.
So listen, let's talk about this license thing. Keep it real. There are some people out there that don't need to have a driver's license.
Well, hold on a second. Let me just make sure. Can everybody hear Shadow Black? Keith Hammer. Can everybody hear him all right? Somebody just drop a little chat. Speak up a little bit. Let me see. I don't know. Nobody's saying it.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, good. So I got Keith Hammer on the IG. I joined him in. He wants to. All right, Frank, Jackie, thank you so much. Heck, all right. So everybody can hear you, man. Go ahead. What we got?
Good. All right, here's my thing. We both know that there's some people out there shouldn't even be on the road.
Right.
At all. Now, I'm quite sure that the fine and suspension system was put in for a specific reason. There was to keep people off the road in their cars.
Right.
And we have a mass transit system that could take people all over New York for $2.75.
Right. Hold on 1 second. Cuban Rican 40. She's on the IG. What's going on, GD? Jump on over to the YouTube channel. Join the chat over there, please. I need that support. On your way in, hit that like button. Goonsy's here. Goonsy's here. What's going on, Goonsy? Let's see. You hit that like button for me.
My man Quasi's on the line. Yo, oh snap, Quasi, what's up, B?
What's going on, Quasi? What's up, man? If you don't mind, jump on over to the Cops Court and Community YouTube channel, man. On your way into the chat, hit that like button, man. But go ahead, man. Finish your yeah. So
Quasi's my big supporter. So here's the thing, right? So if you got the opportunity to take the train anywhere, why would they even make it so and use the excuse, well, people got to get around? It's New York City. You
right.
Get around on anything.
Right, but there are communities that don't have that public transportation. So that's the issue. It's really, think about it now. It's the poorer communities that are less served with, public transportation. So they have no other option other than to drive. So I understand it. And I understand there are some people that definitely do not need to be driving, that unfortunately deserve to have their license suspended. But I personally don't think that somebody should have their license suspended. Let me go back. If you did something wrong, you got summons for that. I get it. You should have your license suspended for whatever caused you to get to the point where you're suspended. But if I can't afford it, you're penalizing me twice. So I get the fact that you want to help those who are in those poorer communities that don't have that mass transit in their community. Okay. And if they do, it don't run all night. So for instance, if you live in Suffolk County, there is no subway in Suffolk County, and the bus service out there is next to nothing. So you're not going to have a bus if you're working on, if you work a night shift and you're in Brentwood, all right, on Long Island, and the bus stopped running at 6:00. How are you supposed to get to work? You got to pay for a cab. That gets expensive.
I respect what you're saying, and I'll give you that. But then I could
hold on a second, Keith. Hold on. All right, Mike. Mike is out. Appreciate you stopping in. I put something in the mail for you, so I'll be on the lookout for that. Appreciate you.
Rally Mode 900 is on the channel. So listen.
Go ahead.
I respect what you're saying, and yeah, you're right that you shouldn't be penalized twice. But then I could put the same argument on a parking ticket. If I can't pay my parking tickets, then I get a boot or a tow. So
right.
It should trickle down the same way. If it's a double tax issue, is what you're arguing, then it's going to have to come across the board with everything.
Yeah, but we don't make those decisions.
No, I understand that, but I'm just throwing my opinion on that out there. Because now it seems like, okay, the drivers are going, all right, fine, you can't pay, you got to go to work, you got to do your thing. Then I could put the same argument is I work a 24-hour shift to feed my family. I can't find parking at night. I squeeze in a space, I'm over the line, and wham, $150 ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And I made $120 driving my cab all night.
I guess you're going to have to put in a little bit more driving time. But, first of all, if you're driving a cab, you shouldn't be parking. You should be out there driving around making that money. So good one. Let me jump in here. Who do I miss? Did I miss anybody? Conversation with D&D. I hate driving, but with the kids, it's way more convenient. Yeah, nobody likes. Listen, I enjoy driving. Thank God I have a decent car where it's very comfortable, riding around. So I don't mind driving, but yeah, I posed that question to Keith over here on the IG. He's here in the chat, but he's live with us on the IG. What happens with somebody that has kids?
Well, yeah, okay, you're put in a bad situation. But at the same time, if you're issued a ticket because you did something wrong, you were driving wrong, there's consequences to it. And I understand maybe we all fall in times where it's hard and you can't pay.
Right.
I get it. But the credit card companies are not saying, well, I know you used that food. I know you used that credit card to feed your family last week. I see you shopped in BJ's, but you owe me my money.
Right. But see, now you're trying to bring in private corporations into the public side. It's two different things.
It's an analogy, but what I'm saying is there has to be something more than just give me $3 a month for the rest of your life and continue to drive like a maniac.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't think the law or the new, the driver's license, suspension reform act. That's why it's so long. That's why I say the suspension law. I don't think it's really been, implemented or signed off on just to say, all right, you drove crazy is suspended because you couldn't pay. Now give me the $3 a month and continue driving crazy. I think at the end of the day, you're going to find yourself suspended again. That's what I think. That's what I think.
I haven't looked into the law myself, so I'm just speculating a lot of things, but just throwing it out.
300 plus pages, man. You want to help me read it? 300 something pages, man. Listen, you want to help me read it? Go right ahead. But that's the only way we're going to have the information, because nobody's going to read that. And anybody that's here new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's why this channel was really started, because nobody understood, what the law was, because that's all I heard. And any of my colleagues that are on here, if you stop somebody and they can attest to it, you stop them, they're going to say, oh, I didn't know. And I got tired of hearing that. So now I feel great because I'm educating, the people out there, and I'm trying to break it down as simply as possible. So that's really how this channel got started. It actually started Cops Court and Coffee, and I dropped the coffee not too long ago, and now it's Cops Court and Community. And Keith was there for the Cops Court and Coffee side of this whole thing. Let's see. Set Free says, I got a $115 parking ticket in Manhattan last week. As an essential hospital worker going out to risk myself and work to help others, what a slap in the face. Yeah, it is. But
actually, for something like that, if you can prove what your job was and it was caused in an emergency, the city is giving some type of reprieve on parking tickets for essential workers.
Yep.
I know that for a fact because I've had it happen to somebody I personally know who is a nurse in Brooklyn and called in for an emergency and submitted the documentation and got that fine reduced to almost $20.
Yep, there you go. So set free, there you go. You know, get some documentation, you know, for work or from your job, and you know, there you go. But I appreciate, you know, that statement, and let me say thank you very much, you know, for your service. Anybody that's, you know, putting their life at risk to help, you know, others, you know, survive definitely deserves, you know, more than just a pat on the back. You deserve a hell of a lot more. So I appreciate all the healthcare workers out there, all the essential workers that are doing this job day in and day out. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. You know, I definitely do.
That Goosey's in the IG.
Goonsey, actually, she jumped in. She's saying hello. What's going on, Goonsey?
All right, Goosey. I got Witch Mountain in there. Witch Mountain, send him over to the channel. He should be watching me. He knows me. Right? Witch Mountain.
And
knows me. Quasi knows me. Who else is in there that know me? Goonsey know me. Who else is in the IG?
I know. Cuban Rican GD. She was on here for a minute. I don't know what happened to her, but she should have jumped in over here. But I appreciate you all. Don't forget to hit that like button as you're coming in. Don't do it on your way out. Do it on the way in. Definitely appreciate you. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You know, I need to hit that 7,100 mark. Anybody just joining now, you know, I hit that milestone. I hit 7,000 subscribers at the end of December. So I used to say I want to hit that 1 million mark. It's taking a little bit of time. It's been 5 years, but you know what? 7,000 people, you know, say, hey, we're riding with you. So I appreciate that so much. And I said, where are you now? You know, I need all 7,000 of you in this room. But you know what? I'll take the 8, 9, 10 of you that were here. I appreciate you all joining me, man. Goonsey.
Oh, man. That's right.
Yeah. So anybody got any other questions? We're here. We just tipped over the 1 hour mark. I'm sure as, you know, I start building up, you know, some more lives, I'll get more people in the rooms. But any other questions, guys? Questions, comments, concerns?
I'm jumping off, man. I'm jumping off.
All right, brother. I appreciate you joining me, man. Salute.
Yeah, anytime, bro.
All right. We appreciate him jumping in. Unusual says, why should essential workers be charged at all? Listen, I'm with you. You know, my wife is a nurse herself. You know, she puts her life on the line every day that she walks out the door. And I think about her from the time, you know, she leaves to the time that she gets back. I'm like, all right, who is she dealing with? Who is she, you know, helping out today? What patient's room is she in? You know, I worry about that, you know, every single day and vice versa. I'm sure she has some concern about me when I walk out the door. But listen, essential workers definitely shouldn't be charged at all. You know, there's so much placard abuse in the city itself. I think every essential worker should be afforded that opportunity to have some type of parking. They have them for doctors. Why not nurses? You know, maybe somebody should send a letter to, you know, Mayor de Blasio in the city of New York and say, hey, you know, you got all of these placards for, you know, NYPD and FDNY, you know, and other government workers. How come our essential workers, you know, aren't afforded, you know, the same, you know, privilege? You know, make an area around their hospitals. I know, you know, there's hundreds and hundreds of employees, but they're all not working at the same time. You know, you shut down city streets, you know, for parking for certain, you know, agencies. Do the same thing for these essential workers. Let's see. I heard you. Hold on, let me move this out of the way. I heard you, the other gentleman, say it was reduced to $20 for what? What state are you based in, and is this information being based from? All right, unusuals. So New York State, or the governor of New York State, Cuomo, just signed into law the Driver's License Suspension Reform Act, which I'll ultimately call, the suspension law, where if you have your license suspended for failure to pay any fines or fees, that they were going to remove the suspension and remove the fee to have your license reinstated. So prior to the law, you paid your summonses, you wanted to be free and clear, then you would have to pay an additional fee to have that suspension removed. So New York State has now removed, or they're in the process of removing all of the suspensions, the 1.7 million New Yorkers who are currently suspended. They're going to forgive those suspensions and forgive the fee to get the license reinstated, but you have to pay 2% or $25 to pay down that fine, whichever one is greater. So we had a traffic attorney, in the chat a little bit earlier, and he said that someone would have to make application to the court to have that license reinstated. But from what I'm reading, within the bill, it's just saying that New York State is going to start sending out letters from the Commission of Motor Vehicles between now and 180 days, sometime in June, informing people that their license is now reinstated, but you have to start paying that money back. So that's all that is. Yeah, 1.7 million from 2016 to 2018. It was, let me get the exact number. I know I said it earlier. It was 1,686,175 license suspensions that were related to traffic debt. So doesn't include if you were suspended for the DWI and refusing, or you hit that magic number. You were paying your fines, but you hit that magic number where an administrative law judge, or Albany, they always say Albany, but if New York State said, you know what, you have to get suspended, which is normally like 31 days, that doesn't count. It's only for suspensions related to traffic debt. So you're not paying your fines, then you got suspended for that failure to pay. That's all that is. All right, no problem. Unusuals set free and delivered. Yeah, it was a no standing 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. sign. Yep. Again, it can't hurt to ask. You're never going to get the answer you want if you don't ask the question. So if you want help with that, reach out to me offline, and we'll discuss that. Unusuals: how's Biden going to enforce his COVID burqa AK mask laws? Don't know, and I should have said this from the very beginning. It's not going to be about politics. It's not going to be about law enforcement bashing or presidential bashing. I'm pro-Trump, pro-Biden. That's not going to happen here. That's for other channels. My point here is to try and bring the information to everyone as simply as possible. I wanted to come on. It's been 5 years since I started this channel. This is my first live. I wanted to engage with the community. So I'm going to be doing more and more of these. It's good to be able to interact with you guys and, bounce things off one another. You're throwing your questions out there. I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability. If I don't know the answer, I know Jackie asked a couple of things, and I got to look up the information because I didn't have the answer. So pro-Trump, pro-Biden, whoever you are, you stand who you stand. If you're with the right, the red, the blue, don't matter to me. That's not why I'm here. I'm not going to have any political conversations with anybody at all. So sorry, nonpartisan question. Just wondering how makes become federal law. Yeah, okay. It's a law thing. I know from my understanding, from what I saw earlier, is that he signed immediately an executive order mandating it. So don't know much about it. I haven't looked into it yet. That'll probably be something that I bring out, a little bit later on once I get enough information. Jackie, appreciate you jumping in. Thank you so much. Like I said, we're going to have to go back and look at your question to, see if I can reach out to my local senator here and see if she has an answer with respect to Uber and Lyft and TLC and all of these other entities being notified that licenses have been reinstated. So I'll definitely get that answer for you. I had my pen, I left it on the table over there, but I'll remember. Send me a message just to remind me. Appreciate all you guys that were over here on the IG. As I said, jump on over to the chat on YouTube. Throw your questions out. We just hit 1 hour and 12 minutes. I'm sure some of you got some questions that you want answers to with respect to this vehicle and traffic law. Your sidekick says, congrats on your first YouTube live. Tell your sidekick, thank you so much. And I appreciate you jumping in here and joining the conversation. I definitely appreciate you. You know that. Thank you so much. All right, guys. There's nothing else. Listen, I'm going to say goodnight like the rest of also congrats. Appreciate that, Unusuals. Thank you so much. But like I said, make sure you guys subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel yet. Those who are on the IG, appreciate you being there. Thanks for jumping from platform to platform. It definitely helps me out. I appreciate all of the likes. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. So many of you have, been around from day one. Some of you are just joining, this community now. And I definitely appreciate each and every one of you. Quasimodo, listen, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Cheers to you. I appreciate you. I know you with my boy Keith over on rolling with the three wheels. I appreciate him. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Chillman says, can I get a ticket for using high beams if the road is not lit up well? Yes. Driving with your high beams and what they say failure to dim, that is actually a 2-point summons. It's actually a moving violation if you fail to dim your headlights as the vehicle that's coming in the opposite direction. If you fail to dim them, or if you have that vehicle that's in front of you, and I believe it's within 500 feet, if you fail to dim, it's a summons. It's a moving violation. It causes an unsafe condition to the other motorists. So yes, you can receive a summons. That's another $138 summons, and that's 2 points on your license, unfortunately. So a lot of people think, oh, I have a headlight out, so I need to see. Well, one, get the headlight fixed. But if you're going to get stopped and ticketed for the use of your lights, I'd rather you get the ticket for the equipment violation, which has 0 points, versus the 2 points for driving with your high beams on. Conversations, I think Heck is gone. Rolling on 3 wheels says no ticket for high beams on an unlit road. Well, we'll have to have a conversation about that one, my friend. That's unlit road. Not 100% sure about that one, brother. Yes, V. Cheers to you, V. So any other questions, comments, concerns? Like I said, this is the first and one of many. I got quite a few tickets for a taillight out. That sounded like you got some type of issue there with the electrical in your vehicle. Not a mechanic, but I'm also not going to write you a ticket for a taillight out. That's just petty. That's just really, really petty. Especially with the newer cars now, where you have the third brake light. That doesn't make any sense unless all of your taillights are out. Now that becomes a safety issue, and I still don't think I would write that summons at all. But whoever decided to write that summons, shame on them. That's just sad. You know, there's so much more out there that you could be focused on, but that, yeah, but yeah, that's just a fix-it ticket. But still, I'm going to give you the opportunity. Hey, go get this fixed. I'm just stopping you to let you know that it's a problem. And again, that's only if they're all out. If you just have one out and you got the center brake light or one of the two on the left or the right that's still functioning, doesn't make any sense to write the summons. I'll stop you, or I might even pull up alongside you and say, hey, listen, you got a light out. Just got to take care of that. I'm not going to write you, an equipment violation for that. That's petty. What we got here? Got some people on the IG. Anything to take a person's hard-earned money. Well, yeah, if and let me just focus on the IG question or the IG statement. Yeah, if that's what you're just stopping, somebody for the headlight out, again, that's just petty. I'm not going to do that. That's petty. What else we got? Anything else on the IG? Nada. So, like I said, we just tipped over the 1 hour, 15-minute mark. I appreciate you guys sticking around so long. I put the information out to, through a few groups, a few people, that would probably benefit for this information. Hopefully they'll watch the replay and see what we got. And, I'm going to be doing more of these. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you guys are getting some information, out of it. And I hope you guys join me on the next one that I do. Not 100% sure. Like I said, I can't commit to, a particular day. But I think 7 o'clock works. Most people are home now. They just finished their evening dinner, or they're just starting their dinner. So I think 7 o'clock works. But I think midweek might work. I think either it's going to be, a Wednesday or a Thursday. One of those 2 days. I'm definitely not going to do, the Saturday thing. I got, a colleague, what would you call a fellow content creator? He does his lives Saturday around 8. That's the Barefoot Vlogger. Terry, very good information. Please, if you have any thoughts of moving to Florida, go check out the Barefoot Vlogger. Check out his channel. He's got tons and tons and tons and tons of content, and he is very engaging, very informative. You can tell this guy puts a lot of time into the production of his videos, and he keeps you engaged, and the information is great. So if you're considering going to Florida, please check him out. I had another Florida content creator let me just tell you that Terry, the Barefoot Vlogger, he's on the Atlantic coast of Florida. And then on the Gulf Coast of Florida, you have Eric from the Eric Evolving channel. I don't like competing. Not that I'm competing with them, but I don't want to do a live and not go on their lives and support them. So I'm going to stick with the midweek thing and support them with that. So if you're considering going to the Gulf Coast of Florida, check out the Eric Evolving channel. He also has some great content out there for you guys. So go sub both of them, support them both. Support, all of your local YouTubers, man. It takes a lot of work putting, content together, finding the time to do it. For me, it's easy. My whole thing is based on, the law. And I always say the VTL, in New York State is like this thick, so if I just go, one by one, I'll have content, for years to come. And, getting into the criminal procedure law, that's a whole nother thick book, to go through. So I have plenty of content to put out there. These guys, they have a lot more work because they have to do a lot of field work. I'm just starting to do field work now. For me, I just, set up the in-house studio and, point and shoot and, do my editing from there. But field work, it's hard. So I appreciate all of the donations that I got. And, I'm definitely going to put that money to good use for equipment and things like that. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anyone? Set free and delivered. Getting stopped these days is scary, but keeping interactions positive and respectful between the community and our law enforcement is the goal. Respect the law enforcement. Tough job. Yes. I made that comment in a couple of interviews that I did, that really how you interact with your law enforcement person is going to dictate, how that traffic stop goes. If you're respectful, and I always say, you don't have to sit there and bow down. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You don't have to do that. Just be respectful. And, I could almost guarantee that if they don't have it set in their mind that they're going to write you the summons, if they're stopping you because you did something and you're complying with them, your hands on the steering wheel, the windows are down, the lights are on if it's nighttime, and you're very respectful, then they're not going to write you the summons. I'd be hard pressed to believe that somebody is going to write you that summons if you're respectful to them and you're doing everything that's making them feel comfortable. Unless it's already in their head, I'm writing that ticket. I don't think you're going to have any problems with that. Chill, man. Thanks for the live and info. Respect. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for joining. I appreciate your conversations with D&D. Big thanks to our law enforcement officers keeping us safe. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of you joining tonight. Anything else on the my boys here in the IG? Respect. What's up? Wait, what is that nowadays? Respect. Oh, respect. Yeah. What is that? Listen, why are you here? You should be over here. Come jump on over to the YouTube live, man. Put your questions, put your comments there, man. I appreciate you being here, but I need you over here on the YouTube side. When you come in, man, hit that like button, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, what is respect? Yeah. I mean, that's a political thing. I made a statement earlier. I'm not going to get into the whole political aspect of, that's not why I'm here. But respecting law enforcement, that's something I really don't want to touch on. Not here, not now. So what do we got? Anything else? Did I miss anybody's question? Did anybody have anything? I know Jackie said I missed something before, but she brought it, to my attention. Did I miss anything? Any questions, comments, concerns? We just tipped over the 1 hour and 23-minute mark. I think we're going to say goodnight at the 1 hour and 30-minute mark, or until I finish this Taylor Port wine that my wife has turned me on to. So, as I said earlier, I'm probably going to be giving away a few of these official Cops Court and Community hand sanitizers probably in the next live or two. Quite haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. Working on getting some merchandise just to, bring out to you guys. The Barefoot Vlogger gave me a nice moniker, Triple C. So anytime I jump on his lives, that's how he recognizes the Cops Court and Community channel. He shouts out Triple C, and it just kind of took off. A lot of people in his lives, they acknowledge the channel and they say, "Hey, Triple C, what's up?" A few people say, "Hey, Darnell," but I appreciate the love, man. I definitely do, man. This is great. I appreciate all of you being here. With your questions, comments, your concerns, your statements. I'll be back next week, with another live, schedule permitting. Again, it might be Wednesday, it might be Thursday. I'm not 100% sure. But if Wednesday works, that's what we're going to do. Wednesdays at 7. Got anything else on the IG? Nothing else on the IG. We got about 6 more minutes, guys. Any questions, comments? Goonsey, good live. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. I'll be tuning in on the next one. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here for the inaugural. Today was inauguration day, so I inaugurated the lives today. So I'll definitely be coming back with some more information, some more demonstrations, showing you, certain pieces of equipment within reason. I'll be showing you some equipment. I did do a video about the tent meter. Somebody asked me to do that video, so I put that video out. If you want, you can jump on over and look back at the videos. I did, a video on the tent meter and the tent law and things like that. But listen, this was fun. I really enjoyed myself. I had a little trepidation about, coming on, doing it live, but you know what? It's good to engage with the community, and that's what it's about. It's not, about me coming on here and telling you to use that super chat, and make donations or using the super stickers. You know what? It's about community, man. And this is what I love, man. I sincerely, love doing, what I do here. It's very fulfilling to educate, my fellow New Yorkers and reaching out to other people in different states, which, oh, yes, I got an interview set up with I guess not the top, but, one of the top traffic court attorneys in California, Alan and Bayless. So I'm going to be putting that out within the next couple of days. So he's definitely the authority on, the traffic stuff over there in California. So I'm very excited to get that. And listen, if you guys know anybody in the community, I went over to this barbershop, this Army vet, that was probably my first field work. It was a little, not so great. But, again, 9 times, if not 10 times out of 10, it's in-house studio. I'm doing everything in-house, but going out live, in the field and actually talking to people, that was something that I wanted to do with the original Cops Court and Coffee show, to get out there and talk and engage with the people in the community. And that's why I pretty much dropped, the coffee name. I'm like, man, everybody kept saying, you never talk about coffee. And I don't know if Heck, is still on here. He always says, oh, you never talk about coffee or nothing. So, it took 4.5 years, almost 5 complete years before, I dropped the whole coffee name and incorporated community, because that's what it's about. It's about community. That's why I say, guys, when you subscribe to the channel, you're helping grow my community. 7,000 of you said, you know what? We want to be a part of what you're doing. And I appreciate that. And I said, oh, man, I wish 7,000 of you were here tonight. But you know what? I'll take the 8, the 9, the 12 of you. I'll take that. You know what? Next week, maybe I'll get 20. And the week after that, maybe 30. Eventually, you know what? If I can get 7,000 people on this live, and 7,000 of you drop $1 in that super chat, now I can really get out there and do, what I've been called to do, because I think this is my calling. I think that's what it's all about. Jonathan Williams is in the house. It's my boy from New York. We served together in our local volunteer fire department. If people don't know, 99% of the fire departments in the United States are volunteer. Not your big New York cities, Chicago, LA, Dallas, Detroit. Those are all paid, some in I think Miami. None of these paid departments, but 99%, that's a big number. 99% of the fire departments in this country are all volunteer. And I thank every member of my fire department, because I don't think I would be here doing what I'm doing now if I didn't take that step to go and volunteer for my community. So, man, if you have the opportunity to serve your community in some capacity, I would definitely recommend, you serving in a volunteer fire organization. But Jonathan says, proud of you, brother. Now that I'm subscribed on here, I'll be watching. Always happy Always have to support my people. Man, you haven't subscribed yet? No, man, you got to have a talk, brother. Man, 5 years and you just subbing now? What's up with that, bro? But Jonathan's not here no more. He left New York. He moved a little further south. So I'm very happy with him. He started his own business. So I'm proud of you, brother. So put in that chat, man, the name of your business. So anybody that happens to be, in Virginia, or somebody in, the Virginia Beach area that needs a landscaper, Jonathan is your man. He's definitely doing his thing down there. I've been, trying to support him the best way I can. So here's a platform to say, yo, look him up, man. Anybody in Virginia Beach area? Jonathan, did you do it? One of the greatest chiefs, in my opinion. Appreciate that. Goonsey, we are all going to pray on it, and it shall be done. Good night for real this time. Goonsey, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you stopping in there. I hope you hit that like button. I hope you sub. Known you for quite a while. You sub? Me and you're going to have a talk. Your nephew going to have a talk with you, too. So Jonathan, again, says one of the greatest chiefs, in my opinion. Thank you so much. Yes, I actually rose to the rank of chief within the fire department. Probably one of the greatest and most stressful times of my career within that fire department. From 2004 to 2007, I had a lot of fun. I really, enjoyed serving my community. Yes, it was good to have that, Chiefs car at my disposal 24/7, the perks of being, ultimately the commander in chief, it was great, man, and I never let it go to my head, man. I had such a good time, man, and worked with a lot of good people, some lifelong friends, and Jonathan is one of them, man. We've known one another for a long, long time, man. And those are the people who you want to keep around. And anybody knows me, my circle is very small. And, every now and again, I just got to tighten it up. Some people, fall out of that circle, unfortunately. And anybody knows me. Once I lose respect for you, it's hard to get it back. And anybody that I've lost respect for ultimately crossed me in some way or, another. But I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole nother conversation. Unusual says, makes sense to have 1.7 million safely driving again. Now, listen, that 1.7 million is from 2016 to 2018. We just tipped into 2021. So I'm sure that number is exacerbated by now. So, yeah, it's great. Yes, lawfully. Yes, it's good to have lawful drivers back on the road again. All right, so Jonathan Williams put his information in the chat. It's Williams Landscaping. His information is there, the phone number in Virginia Beach area. If you need his email, just text. So anybody that's in the Virginia Beach area, or if you have family in the Virginia Beach area, have them reach out for Jonathan, man. Let him do his thing. What is this show? All right. So there you go. So I just put it in there, I guess, the chat, so the phone number, and you needed me to approve it. So there you go. Jonathan Williams Landscaping, 757-386-2735. Reach out, man. We got to support one another. We're in some, different times with this whole pandemic going on. So we got to do whatever we can to support, small business, any way we can. So Jonathan is doing his thing, man. He made the smart decision to leave New York, and, him and his family, they're doing great down there. So, cheers to you, Jonathan, doing your thing, man. Anything else? Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anything? Nope, I think I got everybody. Oh, chill, man. Thumbs up on the hand sanitizer and mask. Yes, mask up. Hit that hand sanitizer if you don't have the opportunity to wash your hands. I know, Jonathan, you're just joining now. I got some official Cops Court and Community hand sanitizer. Probably going to be giving away a few of those things. Not expecting anybody to say, "Oh, I'll buy one." Not for sale. This is something, me saying, "Hey, you know what? Here you go." So all of those who donated, to the cause tonight, this is what that money goes for. Me buying these hand sanitizers and labels and whatnot, putting it out there, postage to mail it. If you guys, ultimately when I give them away, you're going to have to drop in and send me your contact information so I can mail it out to you. But again, we'll talk about that on another thing. Rolling on 3, check him out. I mentioned him earlier. He's got his own YouTube channel. We got anybody else jumping in on the IG? Nobody on the IG. Good. Everybody's moved on over to the YouTube platform. So appreciate you guys so much for taking this ride with me. It was fun. I am enjoying it. This was great, man. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button on your way into the chat. If you didn't do it now. If you didn't subscribe, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends, hey, go support Darnell and the Cops Court and Community move. Have them subscribe, man. It don't cost you anything to subscribe. Nothing. Does nothing at all from your pocket. Zero. Cost you nothing. It's just like saying something nice to somebody, saying good morning. What it cost you? Nothing. So it doesn't cost you anything to sub. So I appreciate you guys. If you guys are watching the replay, please make sure you subscribe. Share the video, share the information. You don't have to know it verbatim, but just let people know if your license has been suspended and you're in New York State between now and let me get the date again. Between now and June, there is no specific date in June. It says June 2021. All of you guys that have your license suspended, it's going to be reinstated. So maybe somebody, hey, say, listen, this new law is out there and, those suspensions are going to be lifted. So I appreciate you sharing that information. So like who said it? Unusuals said it makes sense to have 1.7 million people driving lawfully again. Yeah, it does. One, it's going to help the community. People are out there, they're moving about legally. If your car was parked up before, now you can drive, free and clear. I know some people right now that's affected by it that are going to be very happy to get their license, reinstated. But again, you got to make that minimum payment to get your privileges. You're going to get the privileges back, but just to keep your privileges. So do what you got to do, guys. Keep an eye out, in the mail for that letter coming from the Department of Motor Vehicles, letting you know that, all is forgiven. Set free and delivered. What is the percentage of the breathalyzer when drinking and driving? Not to go over 0.8. First of all, point anything is no good. You should be at bubbles, which is 0, and the law enforcement community, they blew bubbles, meaning, listen, they had zeros. That's what you should be at. But yeah, that 0.8, that's no good. And even, less than that, you could be charged with something else. So just never good to drink and drive, period. End of story. Yeah, breathalyzer. I got it. I knew what you were saying. Yeah, just don't drink and drive. There's plenty of people in these Uber groups that would love to come pick you up and take you home safely. I rather, see that. Spend the extra couple dollars for Uber or a Lyft and don't run the risk of drinking and driving, because one, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg if you get caught. You're not going to have a license. You're going to have a criminal record. It's not worth it. It's just really not worth it. You might think, oh, I'm good to drive. Not good. Never going to happen. You're not going to make it. You're going to do something. And I have a video on how to spot, a drunk driver. So take a look back. Go into the Cops Court and Community YouTube page. search out, drunk driver or DWI. I can't even remember the title of that video. And I lay out, all of the signs that you should be on the lookout for. And it's not really, for something for you to look at and say, all right, I'm going to make sure I don't violate this or that. It's really for you who's driving, not under the influence of the alcohol, but you're on your way home from work. Let's just say that video is for you. I lay out everything that you need to look for so that you can spot a drunk driver. And I think a few months ago, somebody actually commented and said, hey, I watched your video and believe it or not, I was able to spot a drunk driver and I knew to stay away. So you know what? I always say if I can help just one person, then it was all worth it. And with that comment, I knew it was all worth it. Yes, go and watch that video. I lay out, what you need to do. There's another video out there about road rage and, the signs to look for with that. But the drunk driving thing, that's big, man. Take a look at that one if you can. One cup of wine at dinner, not bad. I'm almost done. Probably a couple more sips. We're just tipped over 1 hour and 41 minutes. And I'm going to be saying goodnight to the few of you who are left here. But 1 cup of wine at dinner depends on, your tolerance level. You got to figure your weight, the content of alcohol that's in that wine. All of those factors have to play, into effect, and exactly what you were eating and how much you ate during dinner. So just because you have, 1 cup of wine, you might be 110 pounds and only had, a piece of grilled chicken or something like that. And, it's going to affect you more than it's going to affect, me. I'm just tipping the scale at pounds and I might have, a heavy meal. So 1 glass of wine is not going to affect me like it might affect somebody else. So all of these things matter. So anything else? I got my last little sip here. Cheers to you all who stuck around. Temp 17 just joined the IG. What's going on, Temp 17? We're about to say goodnight for the night. Hopefully you join the next live. If you want, jump on over to the YouTube channel. We're having a conversation over here, and we're about to probably tip out of here in another 3 to 4 minutes. But if you can, jump on over, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe. Nick's the Great just joined on the IG. I appreciate you joining, Nick's the Great. We're live on the YouTube channel. Jump on over to the YouTube channel. Say hello if you can in the next 1 minute and 45 seconds. Hit that like button on your way into the chat. Definitely appreciate you doing so. But again, let me just wrap this up. Tonight was great. I put the information out, although I did a video on this driver's license suspension reform act. Just wanted to come on, do the live and engage with, my community here, man. That's what it's about. So I'll be back next week. Not 100% sure of what date, but it's definitely going to be 7 o'clock. Again, it may be Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, but I think, Wednesday might be the day I do these lives. So look out for, the notifications on, the social media. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow on that social media as well. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And, of course, here on YouTube. Vidya V. Figueroa just checked into the chat. Good show tonight, Chief. Thank you so much, V. I definitely appreciate you checking in and, watching the show, watching my first inaugural live. But thank you so much, V. We got about 30 seconds left. I'm finished with my Taylor Port wine. Any last minute questions, comments, concerns? If not, I'm going to say goodnight to all of you and wish you all well. Just want to make sure I hit all of my notes. I got all of my notes, so I'll leave the last four of you here with one thing. It's that 1 Peter 3:8. I'll say all of you be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. 1 Peter 3:8. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate you all. Have a good night.